Welcome to Rosie's channel. How is everyone today? And I'd like to talk about this movie, or shall I say this series on Netflix called The Polygamist. It is all the buzz. But the main reason that I want to talk about this show is the main character, the protagonist, Joyce, and the lessons that I think that are very necessary to learn. Please be forewarned that this is gonna have some spoilers in it. So if you haven't watched the show and you don't want to lose the thrill of suspense, switch off and come back later. I will be honest with you. This show, I don't really get the hoopla about it, but I do feel it's noteworthy. Now, why I say that I don't get the big deal about it, you'll see as I'll tell the story. Let me just give a brief description of what this is. Joyce is the main character, and her husband Jonasie. Okay, I would say these two. I don't know, maybe the protagonist of the show, the main focal points. And what we see here is a marriage that's failing. That's what you see. The first scene is Joyce leaning over the coffin of her deceased husband and telling him that things could have been so much different. But his lousy, disgusting behavior landed him where he was. Basically, this story is about a philandering husband. She is an influencer, and her brand, her sponsorship is about to be cut because the people who hired her on the basis of family image, a unified family, and they're not seeing that. So amidst this, they're threatening her, saying that, listen, we're not even seeing your husband. While this is happening, the husband wants nothing to do with her. He has a mistress in a different house, and she really wants the marriage to work. But finally, she gives him an ultimatum. She says, you know what? Let's renew our vows. They have it taped, publicized, so that she can keep her sponsorship to create this image, this facade of a happy home. But something very interesting happens. He has flashbacks of the time they were together in the past, and it's almost like that demon that just took possession of him, left him, and he wanted his wife back, and it was a loving relationship all again. In fact, when he she signed the divorce papers, and it just seemed that he didn't want that anymore. He reconciled back with the wife and started treating the side chick truly like a side chick, like she was a non-entity, almost like he was going to break up with her. It seemed like everything was going good, but then things took a sour turn. Now, I don't fault Joyce in this area. It's understandable that a woman who has had kids with a husband, believe 3 children, still loves the husband. You want the marriage to work. You don't give up that easily. So I don't blame her. But what happens at this point is where I get angry, and here are the lessons. Now, somewhere along the line, she gets pregnant. He wanted more kids. But Joyce was scared because she said the last time she got pregnant, that was when their marriage took a turn. And she was afraid of that happening again. So she goes to the hospital, unbeknownst to Jonasie, to get a tubes tied. Their last name is Gomorrah. So when the doctor comes to her and she says, oh, are you Gomorrah? He said, wow, we have plenty of Gomorrahs here today. We have more than one. And right away, the bell goes up on her head. And then she searches and walks in the room only to find that her so-called beloved husband is back with the mistress holding twin children. All right? Rather than breaking it off, she decides, in the name of trying to save face, she decides that, you know what? Let's introduce her to the family. Let her be the second wife. This was her idea, interestingly enough, not even her husband's. Okay, it was her idea, all in the name of being married. And that's lesson number 1. And this is the thing that you hear so many women talking about the patriarchy. willing to stay in marriages that are of no use, are of no benefit, just to keep an image. And as you see along the line, it's one disaster after another. This is part one. I'll come back for my second part.